Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. And this is the weekly channeled angel messages for the week. So we basically dive into the messages for what it is that you need to know for this week so that you can make the most out of the energy, the collective energy that all of us are processing, feeling, dealing with here in this week. So we're going to be talking about that. This is quite an intense energy, but I feel like in a lot of positive ways, right? It's very forward moving energy. There's a lot that's happening right now. And so you might be feeling that. And I acknowledge that because while I feel like a lot of things are happening for us, a lot of things are moving forward, or we may feel like the energy of things starting to move forward for us in different areas of our lives, I also feel like sometimes when we're experiencing this, there's a lot of intensity with that. So sometimes with this kind of energy that I'm feeling here, that can be processed by the body as anxiety or a feeling of anxiety. So you might be feeling like you're getting hit with a sense of anxiety out of the blue. We've been talking about this for a few weeks where we have a lot going on with ascension symptoms, right? There's a lot of energy that is being downloaded onto the planet that we are all experiencing, a lot of light that our bodies are connecting with, actually preparing our bodies to be able to hold more light. And so again, I think that we experience so much of this as a feeling of anxiety. And I think that that's getting kind of confusing for us because while I feel like there's a lot that's happening, there's a lot of positive things that are happening for us. There's a lot of moving forward that's happening for us. I also think like there's that sense of that, or that feeling of anxiety, which is really just the awareness of this energy that's happening for us. So I hope that I'm explaining that. Okay, we're aware of the energy, and so our body is interpreting that sometimes as anxiety or mood swings, or a lot of people are feeling physically ill with these things. So it can be intense and it can be a lot. So just be gentle with yourself here in this energy and try to remind yourself when we're going through it that maybe if we give ourselves a couple hours, it's not as serious as it feels in that particular moment. Because what we do is we take the energy and then we attribute it to our own situation in some way, shape, or form. We might start to worry about something that we otherwise wouldn't have worried about. And so asking ourselves, am I going to care about this a couple hours from now? Am I going to care about this a week from now? Am I going to care about this a year from now? Does this really matter to me? Or can I choose to release this? Can I choose to refocus this? Because this energy right now is in this energy right now, it is especially important that we are mindful of the energy that we are feeding. What we are focusing our thoughts and the things that we're saying, what we're focusing our energy on is really important to be mindful of because it's creating, and we're always creating from that. But I feel like in this really forward moving energy, it's that much more powerful, right? So you want to be mindful of that. We're constantly creating with our thoughts and our things that we're saying. And so you want to be mindful of that, especially right now, and notice what energy you are feeding. If you're spending a lot of time talking about what's going wrong, if you're spending a lot of time talking about what you're feeling and what's happening, and yes, of course, we have to acknowledge our feelings. I definitely always recommend that, right? But if we're so focused on that all the time and so focused on what's going wrong or what isn't happening at the rate we want it to be happening on, we actually are blocking ourselves from making those very things happen. I see somebody saying, Barbara saying that she keeps doubting her worth and that's been crazy. Yeah, sometimes in this energy, we can feel that too. But what I would say to you is if this stuff is coming up for you, instead of putting a lot of energy into that, let that be something that is demonstrating or helping you to have an awareness around something that still needs to be healed, right? So how can I act as if? How can I think as if I'm somebody with confidence until I'm actually feeling like I do have value, until I actually do recognize my worth. This is very much that act as if, speak as if, be as if energy we want to create from that. So being really mindful of that. But definitely it's a tricky energy to navigate around as we're processing all of this stuff that's happening and all of this forward moving energy. I also feel like the title of this video is something in connection with change. Let the changes be an adventure, because we're in it now. You know, we've been talking about moving forward on this new path and making decisions on this new path, and now we're here. Now we're watching things change. We're watching things move forward. So we have these changes to our body through this process of receiving all of this light, and with these ascension symptoms that we're experiencing. By the way, that questioning doubting yourself, questioning your worth can be part of that detox process that's happening as we're clearing and releasing old stuff, right? We're also experiencing changes to our habits. Where do we need to make changes to our habits? Where do those old habits that were maybe part of the past chapters, where do they not apply anymore? Where do they not work anymore? And I think that it's really important that we're taking a look at that so that we can incorporate new habits. If you're thinking about shaking up your routine or just shaking up anything in your life, this is a fantastic time to do that, because this energy is really calling us to move differently, to do differently. We're experiencing changes to our circle, to the people that we're surrounding ourselves with. And I think that it's so important right now that we're taking a look at who brings out the best in me and who brings out the worst in me. What brings out the best in me and what brings out the worst in me, because we need to be really, really choosy to invest our time and our energy into only those things that are bringing out the best in us. This is no longer a time where we want to be investing any time and energy into things that are bringing out the worst in us. It's a new chapter. It's a time for us to move forward. I've been talking in every video recently about being really mindful to not go backwards, to not repeat old patterns, to not repeat old mistakes, to not go back into circumstances that we know don't align for us. We can do that. We always have that choice. But I think that what will happen with that is it's going to block our blessings from moving forward. I think that we have changes coming in terms of how we are wanting to invest our time and our energy. I think that we're starting to become aware of the fact that these are not unlimited resources, right? Our time and our energy is not unlimited. And what do I want to invest my time and my energy into? Or how do I need to make some adjustments so I'm feeling balanced at the end of the day with the ways that I'm investing my time into my energy? So I definitely think that a lot of that is coming up for us this week as well. This energy is pushing us out of our comfort zone. This energy is calling for us to push ourselves out of our comfort zone, to continue to move forward, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if it feels different than it's ever felt before. And so you may find yourself feeling some anxiety around that as well. I think that what we need to be doing, what I feel is most important in this energy, is to be really mindful about how we're framing all of these changes, how we're framing the anxiety that we're feeling. And so if you look at the physiology of our response to something that makes us feel fearful, that makes us feel anxious, the same exact physiological response happens in our body when we feel excited. So can we, instead of seeing that as anxiety, can we recognize that this is excitement? Because truly that's what I feel this energy is. It's excitement. But I think that our brains go, oh, nope, that's anxiety. I'm anxious. I'm worried. I'm stressed out. I'm going to go back into old thought patterns and I'm going to entertain all of that. But instead, can we say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I feel and know to the depths of me that I have amazing things coming my way. Because the fact of the matter is we do, if we can lean into the excitement, if we can hold the vision, hold the energy of that as much as we possibly can. The other thing that I'm noticing, somebody asked me today, why does it feel like an uphill battle? And when I connect with that energy, the immediate answer is that it's us. right? We're the ones creating that resistance right now to this uphill battle. The energy is moving forward. The collective energy wants to help us to move into these changes, to move into this new phase in our lives. But our human gets nervous. Our human goes, wait a minute. This is a lot of change at once, right? Guys, I'm a Taurus. I'm a fixed sign. I don't love change. But the more that we can just lean into where God is guiding us, where we are being led, what we are being shown, the better. That's going to serve us the most. And it's so important right now for us to take a look at and take responsibility for, how am I making this harder than it needs to be, right? Where am I focusing on things that don't matter? Where am I feeding energy that isn't serving me? Where am I self-sabotaging? There's a lot of self-sabotage energy that's happening right now. Where am I preventing myself from moving forward into the things that I know that I want? Or one thing that I'm noticing a lot of in this energy is this failure to recognize how far we've come. This failure even to connect with the gratitude and hold the gratitude for how far we've come. So I would just take a look back, look at the past 3 years, 5 years, and take a look at how much has progressed, how much has happened. What's that quote? I'm totally spacing on it, but basically like being grateful for, the things that we have now are the things that we were asking God for 3 years ago, 5 years ago, right? And can we hold gratitude for that also and recognize how far we've come, rather than focusing so much on it not moving forward at the rate we want it to or in the way that we want it to? Can we trust in God's plan? Can we trust that it's all developing as it should be? And by the way, as part of that plan, anything that is changing that you don't like, anything that is being cleared out of your life, one thing that came through loud and clear is that it's not the loss that you think it is. And so let it go, let it be released, because that is redirection. That is God's protection. And it's leading us to the bigger vision of where it is that we need to be. So I'm seeing a lot of that happening over the past month, where there's just like, you think that something is going to happen, but that gets redirected, or there's a lot of change, there's a lot of endings, there's a lot of stuff happening, but that's because it's making room for this forward moving energy and what we're moving into, what we are destined to move into. And if this other stuff isn't out of the way, it makes it really hard for that to happen. So not fighting it, letting ourselves as best we can go with the flow, and paying attention to what it is that we are focusing our energy on. And can we, instead of being fearful of the change or fighting against the changes that are happening for us, can we let it be an adventure? We never know what we're going to get every day, right? And that can be a very fearful, oh, I never know what I'm going to get every day. Or it can be, I never know what I'm going to get every day. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that really beautiful? And can we choose to shift into this energy of letting it be an adventure? Because truly, that's exactly what it is. So let's take a look at the cards. So we have the Ace of Cups. Taking a look at where we do feel fulfilled. Taking a look at what has happened, noticing the gifts that are developing around us, because I do think that there's a lot that's happening, and if we're not paying attention, we could miss it. So noticing what's happening, noticing what's developing, and just because it's not developing in the way that you think that it should develop doesn't mean that it's not happening for you. So counting our blessings, holding gratitude, and also paying attention to the ways that things are better than maybe we're portraying in our mind them to be. And also taking a look at, okay, where do I still feel like I'm not fulfilled? And what do I need to do about it? What changes do I need to make? Some of these changes we are making. It's not just changes happening to us. It's changes that we are making ourselves and choosing. So what do I need to do in order to feel like I have a full cup, in order to feel fulfilled, in order to feel like I am supported here in this world? What do I need to do to make that happen? So if there are things that are uncomfortable happening, why is that happening? What is it trying to show you? What is it trying to tell you about changes that you need to make in your life? The Knight of Swords in reverse. To me, this is like self-sabotage here in this energy, right? Like, where are we specifically with our thoughts? Because I think that if you let yourself follow the trail of your thoughts, you can go down a pretty deep, dark rabbit hole right now. You can go down a pretty negative spiral. And it's like, if you truly challenge yourself on that, you can recognize all of the ways that certain things are coming together for you and let yourself focus on that. So where are you focusing on the things that you don't want to be feeding? And the thoughts that you don't want to be feeding, the reality that you don't want to be creating? And where do I need to change my thoughts? Where do I need to change my perspectives so that I am seeing things more clearly, creating from a place of what I want to create, that kind of stuff. So taking a look at your thoughts, basically. The next card that we have here is the Six of Swords. We're being carried out of difficult times. But you know what it is? Like, it's a little bit of this energy of like, we've been through so much that we're all just like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? Or, maybe it's not gonna happen. I think there's been a lot of disappointment. I think there's been a lot of challenges that we've been through over the past few years. And this is really saying, no, things can get better. Things can get lighter. It doesn't have to be so hard. Again, it doesn't have to be so hard. Where are we making it harder than it needs to be? Or are we stuck in a story that is preventing us from moving into the story that we're creating now? Where are we stuck in an old story that we don't like anymore and we don't even want anymore, but we're so stuck in that narrative that we're having difficulty moving out of that? If you let this energy move you out of it, it's going to move you out of it. The next card is Seven of Swords. To me, this is about strategy, being strategic this week. How do I want to use my time and energy wisely? This is not a great time to waste time. This is a forward-moving energy that, if we take advantage of that, is going to create a lot of opportunities for us. So where we can, getting stuff done, taking care of things, getting plans together, coming up with taking these beautiful dreams that we have coming through with this Pisces energy and starting to say, okay, so what's the plan? How am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? And by the way, you don't have to come up with all of the how. Let the universe, let God show you part of the how as well. Invite God into that and say, please show me the how. Please show me the steps that I need to take. And then we need to just take those steps, right? Then we have the Queen of Cups. So again, being really, really choosy about who we're allowing around us, what we're allowing around us, what we're allowing to affect us in an emotional way. And choosing to maybe even take a step back emotionally and recognize where certain connections in our life don't serve us, where certain things don't serve us anymore, where where there are things in our life that are bringing out the worst in us, whether that's like triggering a lot of difficult emotions and we don't like the person that we become, or whether it's like just circumstances that just again and again and again consistently bring out the worst in us. Can we instead be really, really choosy about how we're investing ourselves, how we're opening ourselves up, who we're allowing into our time, our space, our energy, our hearts, our lives, and where do we need to clean that up a little bit, right? Because with that, we have this King of Pentacles. We've got work to do. We've got things to create, because what we are creating, what we are building is really important in our lives. And so can we lean into that, whether we're working on ourselves, building ourselves, healing ourselves, whether we're working on a business or creating new opportunities for ourselves, whether we're working on saving money, building money, making money, whatever this is, investing ourselves in it. leaning into it and not letting ourselves get into our head that it's not happening fast enough, or it's not happening in the way that we want it to, because it's happening in the way that we need it to. And so can we just kind of keep going, keep focusing on it, because what we are focusing on, we are creating, and it's going to lead to opportunities and money and success and happiness and fulfillment. But we have to do the things that we're feeling called to do and not get too distracted in the thoughts and the negativity and the doubt and the emotion that is really just serving to distract us from what it is that we need to be doing right now. So redirecting that as often as we can. I know we're human. I know we're feeling some of that water sign Pisces energy, and that can make us more emotional. But can we redirect? Can we call ourselves out on some of those thoughts that we know just aren't helping us right now? All right, guys, thank you so much. That is your reading for this week. I appreciate you all so much. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching this on my YouTube. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.